The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the host of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, the amusement industry, and the business of fun. Here are your hosts, Karsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover Cedar Fair, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. And we're back this week. I'm not actually at a park because it's super rainy and stormy out, so you guys got me back for the week. How does it feel?
Nice of you to join us.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
so happy to not have to try to fill your shoes, which I suck at. I'm like, and we're going to start talking. And you're like, and we're back, everyone. And I just sound like a dick. I'm like, hi. We're going to just start talking about coasters and Cedar Point. And Evan, you want to talk a little?
Yeah. Well, I took a little unscheduled vacation last week, just little R&R on my part. Not really. I know you guys called me out last week thinking that I was ditching you to go to HHN or something. I wasn't. I was actually working. I do listen. Yeah.
You were doing anything but having fun.
I was like, he's probably just late running to Costco or something, and then he just needed to go to HHN or something.
I did said Disney 3 times, and he appeared at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
So I did go to Costco and HHN on Sunday, but not at the same time. I went to Costco in the morning and then went to HHN in the evening.
I love it.
But anyway, we've got some stuff to talk about this week.
We do actually, yeah. We got some crazy breaking news. Guess what? Cedar Point has jumped on the Taylor Swift the bandwagon. If anybody hasn't been watching NFL football or is not a Taylor Swiftie fan,
I think that covers the entire human race.
They actually posted on their social medias. They posted a picture of a Millennium Force train at the very front. They actually have it's taped on. It says reserved for Taylor Swift and reserved for Travis Kelce, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's also a Ohio native, which is kind of cool.
Cleveland Heights. Whoop, whoop.
Yep. So any Swifties out there, hit us up or whatever. But I thought it was kind of cool. If anybody doesn't know, I don't know if they're dating. I don't know what's going on. It might be a PR stunt, whatever. Happy for the both of them, I guess. I mean, everybody should have love, right?
To jump on because Northeast.
Hey, why not?
Connection with Travis Kelce. I don't know why we all pretend to like Travis Kelce because his team beat us in the playoffs, but whatever.
I mean, his team, he's. He
doesn't play for the Browns. I don't care if he's from Cleveland. Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, so just to get that little breaking news, that was literally posted like an hour ago. Another breaking news. This is a little more serious. We're changing our record day. We're not going to normally record on Thursdays ish. Now we're going to switch to Tuesdays. So I know that I was running from the park and literally coming back and saying, oh, hey, by the way, giving you top throw updates. Well, and literally as just
I saw them live today. Updates anymore.
You're not going to get live updates. You're just going to have to wait. Right on here. You're going to have to wait until our next podcast and find out more. But speaking of updates, I'm just going to roll right into it. We do have a little bit of an update for Top Thrill 2. Tony has been tweeting on his amazing, I don't think you call it Twitter anymore. We call it X, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, on his X account.
Yeah, X account. It's Anyway, I'm not exactly sure about that, but anyway, so he's been tweeting. He tweeted yesterday, and I also tweeted today. So yesterday's photo was Top Thrill 2, and it was the Spike Tower that was getting assembled even more than what we saw it this past weekend, and it looks like it has 3 stories now. There's actually 3. Stories, and then if you zoom in on the photo, you can see where the big fat support columns are actually getting a little bit skinnier and stuff. So maybe we're 140 feet, 100. It's hard to say from this photo. Really hard to say. Plus everything in this photo is really big, so it's really hard to be oh yeah, by the way, it's 100 feet tall. But yeah, definitely take a look at Tony's X account, I guess you could say, as he's been tweeting. I think that's still a word. But yes, and then today, over on the tower that's currently there, obviously that was Top Thrill Dragster's tower. The painting has continued and is really, really ramping up. Doesn't look like they've painted any more track up on the very, very top, but they did start painting a lot of the yellow supports and all of the yellow supports around like all the catwalks and everything where like the launch lights would be and everything for Top Thrill. We don't know if those are staying or not, but all of those catwalks for the maintenance and everything are all gray. So it's got a nice, good looking gray.
One set of the triangle thingies, like the frontmost.
I encourage you guys.
So good.
I encourage you guys to go to Tony's X account and check out the tweets that he's been. I know.
No,
right? It sounds weird.
His posts.
His posts.
Get it right.
His post on his X account.
Even though
and see, because it's like I'll be there on Thursday. Make sure you stay tuned to our Facebook page because I might go live and then maybe obviously I'm going to post new photos and try to give you an idea of how tall it is because I'll ride Power Tower and be like, wow, it's like right up to my nose. So like that's like 200 feet. And it doesn't, and it's great that we've got this great weather, because I mean, the great weather is just going to make construction fly even faster. So
there's going to be even more from, so Cedar Point or Tony posted the Spike construction update. There's going to be more on Thursday. And it's so great. I really sincerely think that Spike's going to be done by the end of the season. I really do.
Well, maybe that'll be where our group photo is. Ding.
God.
Oh, hey, maybe. I don't know. We haven't even discussed that. But yeah, we will be having a group photo. And I know this isn't even in the notes either, but we all are also creating our 2024 season calendar for CP Rundown. If you have any great photos that you've taken throughout this year or last year, whatever, as long as that's not super crazy dated. If you go on our Facebook page,
I can't bring you my picture of disaster transport.
Yeah, that's not going to make the cut. Maybe we can do a throwback year. Maybe we can, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of the rules and everything are on our Facebook page. I probably should put them on our actual website too. That would probably be good.
When do you want the pictures by? That's a question both for me and for our audience.
I had a date and then I changed it, and I believe it's going to be October 8th is the cutoff day. So October 8th.
October 8th?
Yes, October 8th.
Okay.
That way I can go through the photos, kind of get in a mindset of trying to build. Everything's blank right now.
Time than y'all realize. So
everything is completely blank. There's nothing that's been picked for the cover photo. A little behind the scenes. I haven't even thought about the calendar until I just was like, oh, I need to get pictures for that. Because I don't like to have just to showcase just mine or our staffs. I like to showcase our fans, and so that's why we do it. So that's all I got. I know that there was a huge birthday. I know Jared, his favorite animal at the park. Evan, you know exactly what his favorite animal at the park is.
It's not just his favorite; it's all of our favorites.
It's all of our favorites. He's a little fuzzy, fluffy guy. You want to tell us a little bit?
This is so much more than just a birthday. This is no ordinary birthday. It was Churro's birthday. What was it? Last week on. It's so important. I don't even remember what day it was.
I believe they celebrated it on Saturday.
They celebrated on Saturday. I'm looking at my CP Rundown calendar. Ding. And it was Thursday or Tuesday of last week. It was a week ago. Was his actual birthday. He turned 1 year old, and they celebrated it at the park on Saturday. And they gave I think they gave away free churros, because his name's Churro, and that's cute.
Right.
So yeah, they had a nice little celebration at the barnyard, and I just think
and you could take pictures with them and selfies and the whole yard and everything.
So go visit your favorite furry friend and his buddies over at the barnyard from 12 to 6 every day, besides Thursdays. But you could always see Churro from the Midway. But yeah, it was his birthday, and I'm glad Cedar Point. I really love that Cedar Point's kind of bought into our kind of weird obsession over that thing.
I'm waiting for churro merchandise. I want a churro shirt.
It'll happen.
I want a churro like plushie.
Button.
I want a churro button. I want a churro
bet
poster. I want
eventually
everything churro.
I bet you next year. I'm not going to actually bet anything, but one of the button series will be a barnyard series, and Churro will be one of them, and he'll be like the ultra rare one.
It'll be the ultra rare.
I'm gonna be like running down the midway, like, I got an ultra rare Churro.
And then they're gonna say it's like a really like it's gonna be the ultra rare, but they're gonna be like there's only 50 buttons made or 100 buttons made, and so it's gonna make everybody.
We know a number of people that would have like a stroke over that.
Right, they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna have to like trade like get a bunch of buttons to trade around to see if I can get that yeah. So
there will be fights. There will be fights over Churro. Anyways, happy birthday, Churro.
Yeah, Kyle's got a little birthday hat on. It's so cute.
Yeah, I wish our audience could see it. I put it on specifically for him.
I wish I had it like custom made for him. It's got a picture of him and everything.
Yeah, right. Little suit, like the Dumb and Dumber. The orange or blue suit. Rolling down there.
Jesus. I don't even know how to transition, but so anyways, we were at our Creator Day, Media Day on Friday, and that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
That was about the best transition in the history of this podcast.
So, from an outsider looking in, since I wasn't there, did Creator Day happen during the actual day, or did it happen at night?
It happened. So it happened on Friday. It started at like 5:00, and the park is open from 11 till midnight. So yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, enjoy the park, and then come over to our little event at Erie Estate.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much like it was pretty much all day. Like you can get your pictures and do all kinds of stuff and everything. But then the formal
we had like a little
get together.
Yeah. And they gave us food.
Was at 5? Yeah, there was lots of food, and I had to pull Evan away from eating the food because everyone was talking, and Evan was I literally look over, and I kid you not, he was munching and munching and munching and munching on those wings that we're going to talk about in just a little.
I said last week that that's what you can expect from me.
Yeah, and you definitely didn't disappoint. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get video of you just chowing down and eating and listening to Chef RJ talk about all the awesome food, and you're.
So Tony, Chef RJ, and the Livey Michael Roddy. There we go. Got his name right this time. They all had little spiels to tell us, and also Midnight Syndicate themselves came in and talked to us. But yeah, so anyways, as they were talking, I kind of look over at Carson and I see that he's doing like all the filming and stuff, and I'm like, well, guess I could eat.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'm standing there with wing in hand, and I'm looking around the room. I'm like, wow, I am the only one eating right now. But like,
I think you had 2 wings in your hands too.
Well, yes, because they're full wings, so you have to break them apart. So like, you get the drumstick in one hand and the flat in the other hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food's really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I looked over to you and you were like, well, I'm full, and I'm like, well, I have a meal plan to use.
We got our meal plans. I did not eat I ate like a quarter of my food.
Yeah. But anyway, definitely thanks goes out to Cedar Point and Tony and the whole team and everything for inviting us out. We definitely appreciate that. Yeah. But you want to talk a little bit about what we were able to do and the whole everything that we got to try and everything?
Yeah, well, I'm the foodie, so I'm just going to go through the food, and then you could fill us in on the rest.
Yeah.
So we talked about the wings last week. They had those there. They are fantastic. God, I love them. Go to Backbeat and try them.
I did actually get to try the wings. I did try.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, and I am not like, as I said last week, I'm not a crazy spicy person. And it actually has like a medium to like maybe high heat, but it wasn't overpowering to where it didn't hurt my mouth to where I was like trying to find milk or anything like that. Yeah. So going with that, it's really, really good. There's a lot of layers of flavor with them, is what I also know too. There was like that spice, but there was a lot of different flavors.
Got that smoky flavor.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So those were those were a home run. So sorry, continue.
They're so good. So get to Backbeat and try them. I think you
Yes.
get like it's $8 and you get 2 of them. Totally worth it, honestly. So because honestly, since they're full wings, they're basically 4 wings for, you get 2 drumsticks and 2 flats. Anyways, I'm thinking through the little buffet line they had set up for us. So then the first thing that they actually had was just the Farmhouse chili, which they let us try, but that's at Farmhouse anyways. But if you go to Farmhouse, you can get said chili.
I wonder if they changed it a little bit. I wonder if it's.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but because I don't like chili, or at least
I love
chili.
Farmhouse's chili. If anyone's like at Cedar Point,
it's nothing against Cedar Point. I just don't like beans.
Yeah,
so.
It's great. It's definitely try the chili and get all the toppings on it. They've got like sour cream, cheese, onions, all kinds of fun stuff. So,
but yeah, so they have just the chili there. But when you go to Farmhouse for the food, the specialty food, they have that and broccoli cheese soup that is that gets served in a bread bowl. But so Carson, you had the chili, and I mean, like you said, it's their chili. You know what to expect. It's good. But it was nice that they gave that to us anyways, even though it's not anything different.
Yep.
And then I think the hit was the Nashville hot chicken and waffles. Oh my God. Those were so good.
Kyle, if you could get kicked out, because Kyle might have a few stories of possibly getting kicked out of like all you can eat restaurants, possibly, maybe, sort of.
IHOP.
I didn't want to say it, but if you want to say it, sure. You probably would have got kicked out of this because the waffle that we got to eat, Evan, you know exactly what Chef RJ said. What is the kind of waffle that it is?
So Cedar Point's website and what Chef RJ said are two different. Or the Cedar Point website is like the dumbed down American version, and what Chef RJ said is the actual French version. They're Liege waffles. That's what he told us. Which Cedar Point's website translates to like pearl sugar waffles, and basically they're waffles, but they have a certain type of sugar in them that like is like crystal, like bigger.
It's the sugar. Yeah, the sugar's still crystallized.
Yeah. And it doesn't melt in the cooking process, and you could feel the crunch, and it gives an extra layer of
They were so sweet. Oh my gosh, they were so not like ungodly sweet, but they were like a perfect sweet.
And I think that's how Nashville chicken and waffles is typically served.
Yeah,
but these were so fresh and they were so good.
Yeah.
So these are at the Corral. So again, go to Corral and get them.
Kyle. So if you come and visit, make sure you try the Nashville chicken.
And then just the sweet and spicy together was so good.
Yes.
From the hot sauce on the waffle, and if I was able to actually sit down and eat it properly and actually had cut up the chicken instead of just trying to eat it with a fork while listening to whoever talk.
Yes.
And not be obnoxious about it. I hope I wasn't. Sorry if I was.
I think you were fine.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so good. These are at the Corral, and the Corral already has good chicken. So take that, their hand breaded chicken, and throw some really good hot sauce. Now, I was talking up the wings spiciness level last week. These took it a step further, I think. These made the wings seem a little more tame, I think. The spice level, the chicken.
I don't know if it's because it was like sweet or something, but
I ate the chicken first on its own because I just thought it was really good, so I just kept eating it. But it was spicy, right? Really spicy. It was so good.
It was a solid home run for me for sure.
Yeah, but again, I guess it's HalloWeekends. It's spicy's kind of part of the thing. So
yeah, something different, something to try,
Yeah. So then the next thing was a dessert, which was the cheesecake chimichangas. So basically, these are available on the second floor of Grand Pavilion at the little snack stand. And so you take cheesecake, you wrap it in just like a flaky dough, fry it, and then put apple pie filling and powdered sugar and caramel sauce on top of it. I was so afraid these were going to be too sweet, but they weren't, and they were so good. It was apple cheesecake basically, and it was wonderful.
They were so freaking good.
I think I hit 2 of them.
They were. I think don't quote me on this, but I think Chef RJ says I think they're deep fried like twice or something.
You might be thinking of the wings.
Maybe. I can't
don't know.
remember.
Whatever. They were so good.
But they're very very good. I couldn't find anything wrong with them. I really couldn't.
No. Well, you can't find anything wrong with any of the food they offered us.
That is true.
And then the last thing was, and the actual name escapes me, but it was the chocolate spider cupcake from Frontier Inn in the back of the park. And this was a chocolate cupcake with marshmallow fluff frosting and little chocolate spider on top. It was good. Yep. The marshmallow fluff frosting kind of made it. Otherwise, it was kind of, it was a cupcake, but it was really good. And it's available with a apple cinnamon cupcake and buttermilk frosting back at Frontier Inn that has like a candy piece on top of it. But yeah. So,
it's great.
I mean, we went through the rest of the food that you can try elsewhere in the park, but that's what was offered to us, and that's what we got to try, and it was all home run, 100%. Yeah. And we got to chat with Chef RJ, and something I noticed is you could really tell that he really is passionate about this, and he was like super happy when we were telling him that, like, dude, this is on level with Orlando, if not better than some of the Orlando parks and Dollywood food. What Cedar Point is pumping out right now. Yeah, especially these specialty foods.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it seems like they just go to another level, for sure. And it's like what more can they do? And then they come out with something else, and you're just like, whoa, And
he teased that next year they got more up their sleeve, so that's really exciting. What else was I going to mention? Oh, how Carson, you and I say all the time how back in like 2019, we went to the park, we rode a bunch of rides, and we dreaded eating. We'd hit McDonald's on the way out of the park because the food was. But now it's we go to the park, we look excited, we look forward to using both of our meal plans and riding a few rides. So that really tells you how much they've elevated their food game.
Yeah, no,
it makes it more of a complete experience too.
I love it.
So
I love it.
That's my bit on the food. Take it away on whatever you want to take it away on.
Well, yeah. So food was 100% a home run. It was really cool to hear, Midnight Syndicate talk about their new album and kind of like
and the new show, and just kind of makes you understand the new show a little bit more, which I'm glad because I needed that.
Yeah, Michael Roddy, he definitely talked about the new show. He also talked about the new, the clowns, that new scare zone, and talked about that. If you guys want to hear what Chef RJ or Michael were talking about, you can go on our Facebook page. I actually just uploaded a few of the videos. They didn't talk for very long, but I was able to edit them and get them up, so you can kind of hear like 2 or 3 minutes of each person, and you can kind of hear, what they're coming from and how everything's prepared. I was really like at that day or whatever, like I was really pumped for the ceremonies and stuff and everything, like after the event and everything. So we got to go check that out. That was really cool. So it's different. It's I see what Evan's saying. So it's like, I don't.
It's not as evil. It's not as evil.
Yeah, if you don't want a spoiler, you should probably not listen to this part. But yeah, so if you don't care, then I'm going to say it. I was going to say it's interesting that they have like it almost is like, oh hey, look, it's a hey ha ha woo woo, it's a summer spectacular show, da da da, and then all of a sudden it like turns dark and scary, and then the monsters come out, and then Mr. Midnight comes out and is like, what are you, kind of like almost like, what are you doing kind of thing, and he
has a really awesome monologue just like last year.
Very good though, like it
gets me like hyped up. Monologue.
So it's not bad.
And it's gonna be really awesome at night, like when it gets dark, when it's actually dark at 7.
Yeah, we need to have it get darker. And then
well, and it was also really cool super windy.
That didn't help either.
So the fire and the fog effects were kind of crappy, and that's nothing the park can do about that. But like the fire would go off and be like, shoot, out.
Yeah.
Where I saw the opening ceremonies, the fire was really, really good. And it really added to it.
And then we also, we got to go through Midnight, the Midnight
That
House.
is really good.
It's so good. It really is. Like,
we had talked about that last week.
yes,
You got to go through Blood on the Bayou for the first time this year, which I had already done, but you saw the changes that they made to that.
I thought the changes were
it's
good.
a lot better.
Yeah,
They figured out the flow of traffic. That was the big thing.
it's kind of
It's a long walk though.
crazy that it took
walk.
2 years to figure out the flow of traffic.
Oops.
But I mean, honestly,
just in time
they
for
just
them to
kind of
move it back to
reversed.
its rightful spot.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah. So obviously,
Just
the
stay here,
fog
right?
the fog was sticking really well. Like that was
Especially
that
on
was
that windy night too.
Yeah, that was. So if it's windy, make sure you go to Blood on the Bayou because
Or just be ready to walk. It is a long walk.
it is a long walk. But it was good. Like there was some pretty good scares in there. Like I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Especially for an outdoor zone.
Our friendly neighborhood announcer Justin, he got caught a couple times.
Yeah, and if anybody
especially in
Justin
midnight, actually,
or
Make
knows
fun of him.
Justin, he's
Make
kind
fun
of a
of him.
jumpy kind of guy. So
just a little bit. I was kind of surprised.
yeah,
and then we went through Bloodbath, and he got hit a couple times in there too.
yeah. I mean, all the houses that we got to go through in the zones and things like that, like it was fun. It was good. Everything's been
and
lots of energy.
A marked improvement. There's a definitely marked improvement from week 1 to week 2, which is good to see.
Which is, I mean, that's expected just because, you got your footing in, you kind of like thinking about like how your character's going to kind of, interact and stuff. And I mean, Kyle would know this, just of, just knowing, being like, oh, hey, yeah, you just kind of have to get your feet underneath you kind of thing to know, to know, how to scare people or,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not something that you pick up like right away. It takes at least a couple weeks to like actually perfect. So if you went through anything on opening weekend, give it another run like 3 weeks in, and hopefully it'll be an improved experience.
Is that why, kind of jumping off ship, but towards Horror Nights, that's why you always say that you refuse to rank anything until a few weeks in, because you got to give the houses kind of a chance to find their footing.
Yeah, exactly. There have been,
even though there's no dialogue from the actual actors at Horror Nights, but
yeah, it's more so just learning their places, learning the timing, everything. I will say, there were houses that week 1 that were very high for me that after my visit on Sunday definitely got knocked down a couple tiers. So I mean that just shows you
Dueling Dragons is your number 1, right?
Still no. It's up there, but still no.
Blood Moon is going to be his number 1.
Not that either. But that just goes to show how like dynamic these events are, that it really does take some time to kind of learn your place, learn your footing.
Mid-October is the best. Like those are the best scarers and the best actors you're going to get.
But it's like what you said though last week, or maybe not last week, but the last time, Evan, is like you got to just give them some time, just like you give, the ride up some time to kind of like figure out their ride and figure out, dispatching.
Absolutely.
And so especially
and
in the
this is kind of bad to say, but give some time to weed out the ones that don't really want to be there, the ones that the people that kind of suck at it and quit after week 1.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Which
it sucks to say, but it does happen.
Ding, by the way, Cedar Point is actually hiring again some scare actors.
Still hiring?
They were full, and they just announced that they're hiring some more scare actors. So they're also hiring for other things besides scare actors.
Enjoy your job for 4 weeks.
Rides, or hey, why not make that big paycheck?
Yeah, I mean, $20 an hour.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't really have a whole. I mean, we got to see like the bone walk and stuff and everything when we were, checking everything out, and like they keep adding more, which is nice. Like they're adding more like skeleton like stickies, I guess you could say, on the glass windows at Grand Pavilion. Oh, I also if anybody likes lobster bisque, they have lobster bisque on the menu at Grand Pavilion. And let me just say, I know like how I just said that the Nashville the wings like had like multiple layers of flavor and stuff. Let me just tell you, the lobster bisque is pretty much the same way. Like it has a lot of layers of flavor, and I don't know. It was probably one of the best ones. Like, you can. What's nice though too, is I was like, they have it as a side, so you're able to get like, the funnel cake shrimp, or
That's so good.
the the drumsticks that they've got there, the chicken drumsticks.
I want to try those. I've heard really good reviews.
They're
about
really
those.
good. They're really, really good, especially like if you can get ones that are like kind of soaked in like the sauce that they like sit in and stuff. They're actually
They're
pretty.
what are they? They're the apple honey chicken drumsticks. I think.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I know they're honey something. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so lobster bisque is a home run. Like I said, you can get it as a side. They had bigger bowls next to the small cups that he gave me, so it's possible that you might be able just to get the lobster bisque as just your.
I think
thing?
you can just like at Farmhouse where you could get the chili as an entree in a big bowl.
Yeah. And let me
or
just
a,
say that
side.
the bowl that they had was pretty big. So I was like, wow, that like, I had the lobster bisque with also those drumsticks on Saturday, and I was full. I know I posted a picture on Rundown, and people are like, oh wow, that's not a lot of food. I'm like, well, if you try the food and you eat it and whatever, like, you'll be pleasantly full. So, but I think that's all I've got. Like, I mean, I know, we the park gave us really cool drink tumblers as like a little memento.
I was about to buy one of those, and then they gave us one. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
they read my mind.
That was nice. And they also gave us Fright Lane, which was nice too, so we could skip ahead of the lines, because Evan and I, we were just chilling. We're like, okay, cool. The park's not super busy. Like, it's gonna be a good night. Not that it's a bad night when it's busy, but like all of a sudden we came out of that creator day.
Oh my God, did it get busy?
And it literally was like,
insane.
whoa! And there was just droves of people, which was interesting. So, but definitely, I'm looking forward to this off season. I know it's sad to think about, but I mean, the off season's coming, and it'll be that time of the year again where it'll be Christmas, and then we're gonna just
we're gonna
go through the motion.
Top Thrill 2 media day.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to see Top Thrill 2. Hopefully for an IAPA. Obviously the Cedar Point will be closed by then, but when IAPA comes, maybe we'll be able to see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if we can see Top Thrill's train. That'd be really cool to see. But yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah. And next week we'll probably have some nice construction updates, and I mean, we're already going to see more in person this time. So for this weekend, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait to ride Power Tower, and like me to be like riding the drop side, and you like look to the left or you look straight in front of you and you see the tower pretty much like the same height as you are about to drop.
Well, now we'll just think about going to top Power Tower and looking up at the train.
Right. Yeah. That's gonna be crazy.
Gonna be crazy. So crazy.
All right. Well, if that's everything you guys got, I don't have anything else. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. That's going to do it this week. Be sure to tune in next week on Tuesday or around that time, because that's when we've changed our recording to. That's all I've got. Have a good night, everybody.
I like the food at HalloWeekends. That's all I got to say. See you next week, y'all.
Make sure you share this podcast with all of your friends. Make us have 200 followers, please, by the end of the year. That'd be great. Love you guys. Talk to you guys next week.
All right, that's going to do it for us. From the Rundown on Fun, take it away, Justin.
Thank you for listening to the Rundown on Fun. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all things Cedar Fair. As always, be kind to your ride operators, and we will see you on the Midway. Good night.